Welcome to Camelot Hills. Today we're going to be talking about feed, the most important thing that your goats need in order to survive. In the natural world, the goats are able to go out and find their own food and get whatever they need based on what they can find and what they know to eat and what not to eat. But in captivity, we keep them in fences. They can't do that. So it's up to us to make sure that we feed them the proper foods to get the proper nutrition. Here at Camelot Hills, we use a variety of foods to feed our goats to make sure that they stay as healthy as possible. One of the first things that we feed is sweet feed. We use the ones that's textured. This one is a particular brand that I'm not going to really mention because I don't want to put you off on anything really. But this one is a textured sweet feed. It's got a balanced nutrition in it that gives a goat a lot of the things that they need, one of which is copper, selenium, and then it's got some other things in there that's good for their nutrition. Now that's not the only thing that you need to feed them. Probably next to sweet feed, the most important thing that they need is alfalfa. This is a compressed bale of shredded alfalfa hay. The reason we have it here now is simply because alfalfa is hard to come by here in our area sometimes, and hopefully in the next week or two we'll have some more. But currently this is what we give them for alfalfa, so we just take that and put it in their food bowls, and then that way they're getting plenty of alfalfa. Alfalfa is full of protein, and it's great for goats and dairy goats especially because it gives them a lot of the nutrition that they need. Also, another type of alfalfa is pelletized alfalfa. It's compressed in little pellets. However, it's not as good as the compressed bale, or for that matter for the real bale of alfalfa hay, simply because it's compressed and it's not as natural to the goat's rumen. Another thing that we give is what we call boss seed. It's black oil sunflower seed. Most stores, a lot of stores actually carry the black oil sunflower seeds. It won't be there for goats. It'll have pictures of birds or whatnot on the box, but black oil sunflower seed is great for their coats and the overall health of the goat as well. Now, one of the last things that I'm going to show you today is beet pulp. Basically what beet pulp is it's shredded up beets that that's left over from when sugar is made. A lot of the sugar that we get today is made from beets. So they extract all the sugar, they got all this stuff left over. Now this particular beetroot has a little molasses in it to make it a little more enjoyable to eat. However, the goats really love it even if it doesn't have the alfalfa, the molasses in it, and they eat it up. Now, one of the reasons that we don't give them much of this is because that is more of a filler than anything else. Nubians in particular are very ravenous goats. They love to eat. And we've got a couple Nubians that are a little overweight. So the reason that we give them the beetroot is we're giving them some food to make sure that they feel full, so they're not ravenous as so much, and they're not getting extra calories that they don't need, so we can slim them down a little bit. Outside of these foods that we have laid out here today, you also want to make sure that your goats get minerals. There's several different ways that you can do that. One of which is a mineral block. However, with a mineral block, you want to have it somewhere near your water supply, so the goats will lick the block, drink the water, lick the block, drink the water, so forth and so on. You can also purchase minerals that are in powdered form that you just put in a bowl and open feed them. We do both here. That way the goats have their option on what they want to have to eat. They kind of know what kind of minerals that they need. Another thing that we give our goats here in the South, because in our soil and the plants around us, we don't get a lot of copper content. Goats need an extraordinary amount of copper, so we give them these little capsules called copper bolus. There's several different types on the market. Just research them, look them up, and basically it's a little capsule that you shove down their throat, put in a prune or some kind of feed to make sure that they go on and get it swallowed, because as soon as they start chewing it and start tasting it, they're going to want to spit it out. Other than their minerals, their feed, the copper bolus, make sure your goats have an adequate amount of water, fresh, clean water, for them to drink all the time. Especially if you have does in milk. Does in milk will drink gallons of water a day. What we like to do, we've got some large water barrels that hold 30 gallons in it. We add electrolytes to it just to give them a little boost, and it's got a nipple on the barrel so they can go up and they can drink, and they drink quite a lot of it. So that's one of the ways that we do it. We also provide just your standard bucket that has plenty of water. We change those out daily to make sure that they have clean, fresh water, because some of them may not like drinking out of the nipple on the barrel. So that's kind of the feed that we do here at Camelot Hills. Each individual goat gets fed their own rations. We'll take you to the barn here in just a minute, and we'll show you what we do and how we feed them in the barn to make sure each individual goat gets their own particular rations, specifically the ones that are a little underweight or a little overweight, so we can change their rations to give them what they need. Also, when you're doing it in that manner, you can make sure that if you're going to give them your wormer, whether it's a chemical wormer or a herbal wormer, that you know exactly what each goat gets. Everyone doesn't do this with their goats. Some people just put it all out in a trough and let them have at it. That's okay if that's what you choose to do with your goats. However, we choose to make sure that we do each individual one so we know exactly what each goat's getting. We'll come back another day after we show you this short clip in our barn about the other supplements or medicinal things that we give to our goats just to try to help take care of them and give them a boost here and there. So for now, let's move on to our barn. Well, we've made it over to our barn. We've got all the does hooked up in their respective places. They all have their own bowl, and believe it or not, they know where their bowl is, so they would generally go to it to get ready to eat out of their own food bowl, believe it or not. Each one has a lanyard that is attached to them and the fence behind them. They've got their own individual bowl that's hung on the fence, and we hook them all up, then we pour all their feed out, and they just have at it and they chow down. As you can see, that's what they're doing now. We also have a salt lick hanging off the wall in here, and we also have another bowl back here for the crushed minerals, the powdered minerals, that's for open feeding. And if you look just right behind me, we've got another hay feeder, a commercial one that's hanging on the wall that we keep fresh hay in all the time. And if you notice, like I mentioned before, this is part of their bedding area where we keep hay on the ground, and whatever that they don't eat becomes bedding. So it's kind of dual purpose there, as I mentioned before. So that's kind of the way we do it. Let us know how you do it in the comment section. Well, that's pretty much all we have today about food. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to go and check out our website at www.camelothills.net and sign up for our blog. And don't forget, sign up for our YouTube channel.